Are you struggling to sell more on your webinar? Well, this video is just for you so that you can sell more on your next webinar or stage presentation. Hey, it's Tom Jackobs. Thank you so much for stopping by the channel today. I am super excited that you are here because this channel is all about presentation, performance for more profits in your business. And if this is your first time here, you may want to hit that little subscribe button right there. That way you get notified every time new content is delivered on Tuesdays and Fridays at 12 noon Eastern. Let's jump into the topic at hand, how to sell more on your next webinar or stage presentation. Because again, this is all about presentation, and public speaking is part of the presentation part and the performance part in terms of getting more profits in your business. Whether you're doing a webinar or a stage presentation, you need to be good at it, whether that's on camera or on stage. You only have a few seconds when you start your presentation to get the audience's attention and ultimately get their trust, because they have to know, like, and trust you before they purchase from you. And that's the whole purpose of doing a webinar, seminar, a live event, is to ultimately get them interested in your product or service. Especially as a solopreneur, you don't have a lot of marketing dollars to spend, and the ones that you do have, you need to make sure that you're spending those effectively and efficiently. In fact, I have a special report that I'd love for you to have. It's how to get a full calendar of bookings by Monday morning on your calendar so you can have more sales calls. So just go ahead and click the link down below. I'd love to send that to you. It's a little free PDF. And then you can have more sales conversations, because ultimately when you are converting more people on webinars, then you are ultimately having more of those sales conversations. And you have to look at all the different conversion numbers. And on another video, I go through how to look at some of those conversion numbers. I'll just pop that video up here so you can take a look at that. I recently had a consulting call with one of my clients to go over the webinar that she recently did. And we went into 3 tips that I think is really relevant for anybody doing webinars. And it's really, really important. And the small nuances here may seem irrelevant, but they are important when you're wanting to create a connection with that audience. The first thing was the camera, where the camera was placed. It was down low. So, I mean, imagine like talking down to your audience. And I suggested that we bring the camera back up to at least eye level so that you're having a one-on-one conversation with people. And people ultimately see that and feel that, because when you're talking down to them, and the tone of voice was a little, I don't know, preachy to say the least. And so you want to make sure that you have a friendly tone, especially at the very beginning. And I actually recommend doing a full screen video of you at the very beginning of the webinar. That way they can see who you are. And in the background, you'll have your diplomas and different items that show that you are a professional. So again, get that camera up, make sure you're full screen when you start so that people get to know who you are and get to like you. The second is, during your introduction, they have to understand why you're doing what you're doing, why you got into the practice that you're in, and ultimately, do I like you enough to trust you to help me with my problem? So that's all about telling your story of why you're doing this. And this might be just 1 or 2 minutes. It doesn't have to be long drawn out. Definitely at the very beginning, you want to get that engagement with your audience by telling them a story about you and why ultimately you want to help them. And again, this should be scripted, but it should be coming from your heart, so it feels very personal for them. If you're just reading off and just because this is your 100th webinar that you've done this year, then it's going to feel like that, and it's not going to come across as very authentic, which I'm not sure if I really love that word, authentic, but it doesn't feel like it's coming from your heart. And you definitely want to make sure that you have that coming from your heart so that they feel that as well. And then the third piece of advice that I gave her was, from the very beginning, tease the fact that there's going to be something more that they can get involved in at the end of the webinar. And don't say that if it's free or if it's paid, but just say that, hey, I have something special that I want to give you at the end of the webinar, so please make sure that you stick around till the end and I'll go through that, and I'm sure you're going to really enjoy that. And there you go, 3 quick tips on small nuances in your next webinar presentation or stage presentation, which will help you convert more people to take that next action with you, whatever that next action might be. I've also put together a special playlist for newbies to the channel. You might want to check that out, some of the best videos that I've produced. And then I put together a special video just for you right there. So make sure you check that out. If you like this video and the format, these quick tips, just give it a good old thumbs up, make some comments down below. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, you have a great day.